I'm Melissa Stewart, and yes, I am sitting in my car because it's quiet and the natural light is pretty killer. So, I'm Melissa Stewart, Audacity and Purpose Coach, host of the Live with Audacity podcast, multi passionate entrepreneur, wife to a high school football and track coach, and mom to 4 kids. I know, crazy. They range in age from 20 to 6, and they drive me bananas. And I have to wear a lot of different hats because of their ages. But that's not what this is about. In 2018, I found myself with my dream job at my dream company with my dream boss. Seriously, he was the best. And I was so good at my job as an office manager that they promoted me to be an office manager of our second office when they decided to open it. Once I did that job so well, they decided to promote me to and add to my plate becoming a remote member of our operations team. And I was even busier than I was previously. I was so busy at work, carting the kids to extracurriculars, which with 4 kids, you can imagine was pretty crazy. My husband was coaching 8 months out of the year, and so I worked so far away that it took me 3 hours a day sitting in traffic to do all the things I needed to do. It was so crazy. I was spending well over 14 hours a day away from home most days. It was just insane. And while I adored my company and my job, I was having a really hard time balancing being a wife and mom and an employee, and I was getting really sick. At 36 years old, I was put on blood pressure medicine because my levels were through the roof. Like, I literally was on the verge of a stroke, probably. Like really high. My body and mind stayed in constant stress from the moment I woke up at 5 a.m. to get ready. I was rushing till I got the kids in bed at 9 o'clock. And then after that, you can forget it. I wasn't doing anything else except play on my phone or watch TV. And so I was rushing all the time. I'd rush out the door to get to work, and I'd rush to get all my work done during the day because I was so busy. I had 3 jobs I was doing. And then I would rush home to quickly feed the kids or rush them to where they needed to be. And then I would rush home and get them ready for bed. It was just pure craziness all the time. I wasn't spending any quality time with the kids or with my husband, and definitely not taking time for myself. I spent so much time in my car that I started listening to podcasts and audiobooks on Audible. And I read so many books that really changed my perspective. And they all changed something, right? They all changed some mindset that I had originally had. And I always knew that I had something more I wanted to do. I always knew I wanted a career that was more flexible. And then one day I read Girl Wash Your Face, and it was so inspirational and such a slap in my face. And I became completely and insatiably obsessed with every ounce of Rachel Hollis that I could get. And then one day in a live, she said something that would change my life forever. She said something like, "You have a responsibility to live up to God's greatest potential for your life." And my brain exploded. Like, I knew that, but it's just the right words that she said it in that made me so excited to start really living my life and stop waiting for someone to give me permission to do that. I took that to heart, and I swore I would do just that. I took some time to reflect on the things that mean something to me and what I wanted my ideal life to look like. I started to dream really big. I hashed out my strengths and my weaknesses, my likes and dislikes, my passions, and I really got to know myself better than ever. I started to discover that my passion was getting other women to understand that God created them so unique and so perfect and thoughtfully put every quality of themselves inside of them. And those qualities are meant to help you live with your purpose, to live into your purpose, to serve the world in your perfect manner. During most of my previous jobs, I had coached people in all different roles. I coached them on their perspective of life, their mindset, confidence, purpose, joy, and gratitude. And the more personal development I did on myself, the more tools I gathered to help me speak life into others. I decided to use my gifts and talents to serve others and help them find their unique calling God has put on their lives. And hopefully that's why you're here. My greatest mission in life is to serve you in the ways God has built me for, and for you to understand these 4 things. God made you perfectly you. You have unique gifts and talents to serve the world in your own original way. No one can be you but you. In order to serve others with your unique gifts and talents, you must not be afraid to be your true, authentic self. How do you know if the qualities are for your purpose if you don't actually embrace them? Number 3, God or the universe or source or whatever you believe always has your back. God wants nothing but the best for you. But you have to be willing to let God's will be done. And number 4, you must take control over your own thoughts and your mind. Only then will you be able to hear God's leading and calling. Over the course of my life and while hosting my podcast, I've had the pleasure of meeting so many different types of people from all walks of life. One of the constant lessons I learned is that we all have a story. They're all unique. They're all worth telling, and they can connect us with others who have struggled or have had to endure similar heartaches. The hardships we have overcome make us warriors, and we can help others overcome their struggles by telling our own stories, letting them know that they are not alone, and showing them that they can stand back up again and still have a beautiful life. We must be willing to be authentic and vulnerable with others if we expect to have a lasting impact on those that come into our energy. So what are you going to do? Are you going to use your unique gifts and talents the way God intended? Are you going to live up to your greatest potential? Or are you going to wait until you get to the end of your life and then think, man, there's so much I wanted to do. There's so much I could have done. There's so many people I could have helped. Which one are you going to be?